Alright, so I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, but I don't think it was the right time. So for those of you that don't know, I am a 25-year-old college student. It's like, how come you're 25 and you're still going to community college? So when I first graduated high school, and I went to a community college, but during that time there was a lot going on in my life, and unfortunately I wasn't able to handle it correctly. Everything going on, um, it was too much. I was young, and so my education took a big hit. And after just 2 semesters, I was kicked out of school. But I was later reinstated after petitioning. So after my first rough showing in college, I decided to not wait the year and go find a different college district that I could apply to and attend. So I did that. And by then, like I said, so many things going on. I just wasn't right up here. And so I went to a different district. I tried having a clean slate, and starting from scratch, but I was kicked out of there too. So after being kicked out of the second school district, I decided to actually take some time off and and get some help and finally work on myself. Eventually, with the help of Julie, um, I slowly started working my way back into school. So going back, I had to clean up the record that I had because in 2 school districts, I had very, very bad grades. A bunch of D's and F's. I had about 4, maybe 5 semesters worth of just D's and F's, a couple C's here and there. So when I started retaking classes, I started doing it um, by 1 or 2 classes at a time. I had been away from school for a while, and to be quite honest, it felt like the last time I was really in school was back in high school, because the few semesters that I did attend in college, I really didn't. It didn't feel like school. I never picked up those habits that you need to be a successful student. So when I started retaking these classes, I did 1 or 2 classes at a time. And well, that takes a while, especially when you have 4 semesters full that you have to retake. And to be quite honest, I think that was the most difficult part, the most challenging part. Realizing that after a handful of years, you're in a place where you shouldn't be anymore. It was difficult going back and taking classes that you take fresh out of high school. It almost feels like you're stuck. Like you were stuck, you wasted so much time, and it's not a good feeling. And so here I am, 25. So the reason I wanted to make this video was to share my story, because I look at it now, and like I said at the beginning, I didn't feel like, even though I had retaken all my classes, even though I was on my way to completing all the classes necessary to transfer, it didn't feel like it was the right moment. And now that I'm about to apply, it feels I feel like it's the right moment to make this video, and it's just crazy to think about. Actually, I have this. I have this little piece of paper that I carry with me. So when I went back to school, roughly, this was my GPA at one of my institutions, and it was a .8 .18. That was my GPA, and I have the proof right here. So the reason I carry this with me, it's a constant reminder. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know. That's better. So that bottom one says total cumulative GPA 0.818. So, I mean, that's embarrassing, to be quite honest. I didn't like talking about school. I didn't like people asking me about school, what I was doing, and if I was going to go back or not, because some people knew I wasn't going to school at some point. And even today, I actually don't like talking about school because it's like, oh, yeah, 25, you're a student. Oh, yeah, where do you go? And it's like, oh, I'm community college. And it's like, when did you graduate high school? That's been a while. It's been embarrassing, right? I'm not gonna play a victim card. Shit happens, and you're young, you make mistakes, and sometimes you have to deal with the repercussions, the consequences, and I feel like I've had to do that. The main reason I want to make this video is to share this story specifically. You saw there I had a 0.8 GPA. Going back, seeing all those D's and F's, and it was a very difficult thing. And there are people out there that I know are going through similar situations, whether you decided not to follow education or whether you went and you dropped out, whether you had some stuff going on in your life that didn't allow you to go back to school. I have a cousin that recently went back to school, and which I tip my hat off to him because it's a difficult thing to do, especially after a couple years. My homie Lando, he's going back to school, and it's been a really long time for him as well. I just want to encourage anybody who feels like perhaps it's too late, or like they're not smart enough, or that it's not for them. It's not too late. Look, it doesn't even have to be with school. Whatever you wanted to do, I encourage you to take the steps to go after it again. It's not too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was a dream, if it was a passion, if it was something you really wanted to do, sometimes life comes in and has a way of kind of messing up people's plans. Something you don't expect. That's why I try not to oh, I'm going to do this, this, and that. I don't know. You don't know. That's something I've learned is you don't know what could happen. You can plan ahead. You can line things up for yourself. But life has a funny way of being like, nah. It's not going to be that easy for you. And let me just say that if you decide to pursue it and go after it again, get back up on your feet and chase it, you're in for a challenge. Don't think for 1 second that it's going to be easy. But I'll tell you what, you're not the only one that is currently going through it. Remember, you're not alone. We're all in this together. If you're out there grinding, just know that there's a community of us doing the same thing. And we should feed off each other. So please, if you know somebody can benefit from this video, from this story, if you have somebody who's going through something similar, if you yourself are going through something similar, please share the video and let's move forward. Progress. One more thing. Keep it raw.